Hi everybody, welcome back to Tips for You. Today I want to show you how to make a homemade pizza. It's so much fun and it's so easy and I do it all the time, and I wanted to share it with you so that you can see how easy it is to eat your pizza in a healthy way. This pizza is going to be made with a whole wheat crust. Now you can barely tell the difference because I did a little experiment on my kids and they couldn't tell the difference between a whole wheat crust and a regular crust. But the beauty about the whole wheat crust is you're getting the fiber, you're getting the insulin stability that you don't get with white flour, and you get full a lot quicker. So whereas you think you can eat so many pieces of a regular pizza, with the whole wheat crust, with my homemade pizza, you actually get full so much quicker, you eat less pizza. So, you can buy whole wheat pizza dough in the dairy section of your supermarket. So it is available to you so that you can just run in and come home and make it. So let's talk about the ingredients that you're going to need. Of course, you're going to need a pizza dough and tomato sauce. I'm using my homemade tomato sauce, and I use a big scooper because, a ladle, because that helps me spread the sauce. You need a rolling pin, whole wheat flour, because you're going to spread it on the board and you're going to use it in order to roll out your pizza, and you're going to need a board. Now this is a pie board. I bought this board years ago and I think I got it in Bed Bath & Beyond, although I don't remember. But you can buy a board like this anywhere that sells cooking type things. I'm pretty sure I got it at Bed Bath & Beyond though. And it's, solid wood, it doesn't splinter. It's really nice. I can use either side. I don't have to use the side that has the pie thing. You're also going to need mozzarella. And this is Polly-O, and I always use part skim mozzarella. Why not use part skim instead of the whole milk? You're cutting down calories here. This is a big difference in the cheese. So I have a grater, and all you do is you grate it up and you make nice little pieces of it. You just pull it back. You run it down the cheese grater like this. Okay? And you keep rotating it because it gets a little soft. And then you make little bits of mozzarella cheese. You can buy the packaged cheese if you like, that's already shredded for you. But I really prefer shredding my own. It's just so much softer and melts so much easier. Before you begin, you should set your oven to 450 because that's what we're going to cook the pizza on. So we've already set to 450, and we have our pizza pan. You can get a pizza pan in any, again, place that sells cooking items. I think I probably got this one in Walmart, so it's there for you. And then my actually little special finishing touch, which really makes the pizza have such a great homemade taste, is some oregano. And you're ready to get started. So I'm just going to put my hair back and quickly put on my little apron, because when I use flour, I tend to just sort of get it all over me, and I don't want to do that. So you start out by grabbing the whole wheat flour, and you'll have a spoon and sprinkle it liberally onto your board. Just spread it out like so. Now I keep mine in the freezer for freshness, extra freshness. It's something you might want to consider. Okay, now we've got our pizza dough, and we're going to coat the dough on both sides with flour, with the whole wheat flour. And again, I'm using whole wheat flour. This is a whole wheat dough. And you're really going to love this. Now, I also usually, I'm not going to put my hands in there because then there's the whole transference of pieces of dough onto it. So grab some in your hand like that and just rub it on your rolling pin. The more you can keep everything coated with flour, you don't want to go overboard, but the least likely you're going to have sticky problems with the dough getting stuck to your pin. And just gently start rolling it out into a circle by rolling it on all the sides. Now when you see it starts to develop a side that's not round, you just work on that side a little bit to try to get it round. Now I'm going to make a thin crust pizza because that's what everybody in my family loves. If you want to make like a Sicilian pie, something really thick, and you're going to need a bigger piece of dough, or you're going to have to use two doughs and attach them together, because you don't want to roll it too thin if you're going to be making a Sicilian pie. What you're going to do is you're going to roll it to your desired thickness if you're making a Sicilian pizza, and then you're going to kind of seam it together as best you can, and then you'll have a bigger pie and it'll be thicker. Or you can just make it homemade and make as much dough as you like. So here I am, I'm doing it again, I'm going all around. See how it's developing into a nice round circle. Now, if this dough was having trouble spreading out, sometimes they do, you can always lift it with your hands, keeping a knuckle like this, because you don't want your fingernails to do anything. And then you kind of just work it around, you know, from the sides. And I don't want to do it too much, so I don't want to make it too thin. But you work it around the sides with your fist underneath, around, and that stretches it more. But ours is stretching very nicely. So we won't need to do that tonight. Oopsie daisy. And I mean, I'm almost getting to the size. That pan I have is really large. So we'll see if we can get to that size. And if you just buy your dough from the store, let it sit on your counter for about 15 minutes or so, just so it's more pliable, because when they're really cold, and again, if you notice anything's getting stuck on it, just put a little on there, spread a little on your pizza. This really helps it stretch. Now if you want to check for size, grab your pan and check for size. And I'm almost there. So I'm going to just go out a little bit more. Remember, you want to make it a little wider because you're going to roll the crust. So it's nice sometimes if you just go beyond the pan, but this pan is like very large, so I try to go to the edge of this pan and then work my way in, and then the pizza kind of stays in the middle. But if you have a smaller, like a more normal sized pan, then you just go over the edge. You know, you measure it so that, oh look, my pizza is over that edge. So that way you have room to roll the crust over. And we'll show you how to do that. Okay, now, take your pan, and you want to spray it with cooking oil, and I use olive oil spray all the time because it's better for you. I don't just grab any oil. And I want you to just coat the entire pan with olive oil. Now if you don't have any spray oil, no worries, because all you have to do is grab your bottle of olive oil, you pour, this is how we used to do it before they came up with spray oil, you pour a little bit into the pan, you take a napkin, and you just smear it around and make a nice coating on the pizza pan. Okay, now we are going to very carefully and very gingerly drop this onto the pizza pan. Now, make it look nice, as you can see. Now, if it's a little more than you would have liked, just bring it in a little. That's all. Notice we have no holds. If you notice any holds or you made any mistakes, push them together and try to get the air out. Because as it cooks, what happens is it starts to puff up and it can break open, and then the sauce can run through. So you don't want any craters to form. So you don't want any air bubbles underneath. You don't want any holes in it. You need to mend them, push them together. If you can't push them together, grab a piece of dough and patch it. That's the best thing to do, okay? Now, we are going to push this a little closer to me. I want to get it on here because it'll be floury in the bottom. Now we're going to make the crust. And all you do is you take the ends and you roll them over. And you go all around the pie. Okay? All around the pie. And press your fingers in. So you're making like those little kind of swervy pie shell look all around the pie. And you press it into the edge. That's going to be a big spot, but that's okay. Somebody will love to dip that in tomato sauce. That won't be a problem at all. Okay, I'm going to move this board aside a bit so I can work with the pizza over here and still be in your view. Next thing is the sauce. Okay, see how quick and simple this is? Now, I also want to mention to you that this serves as a foundation for a meal. And what I like to do is once this pizza is done, I'll put fresh tomatoes on it. Now if you're going to put like peppers or you want onions on it or sausage or chicken or anything like that, what you need to do is have it first. So steam your vegetables, make sure they're cooked, and then when this pizza's done, then I'll show you, but you put your vegetables on then, or your meats, and then you put it in the oven. I like to do it actually, for me, it just seems more California and natural and stuff. I like to do it when the pizza comes out, and I just pile stuff on it. I'll put chicken on it, I'll put, you name it, all kinds of stuff. So I love that because, I mean, just about anything goes on pizza. Now, take your sauce, and you're going to take a spoonful, and you're going to dump it in the middle, and then you're going to swirl it into a circle, okay? Now, the key to a nice pizza is that there's some sauce near the crust. Not that you get over there and there's no yummy goodies there, and you're just left with boring crust. So, we're going to make sure we get all the way to the crust. And there's a fine line between putting too much sauce on your pizza, and it's a giant puddle, and putting too little and it's dry. So you're going to roll your spoon like this all around and take a look at it. It's got to have a nice even coating of sauce all around. I like it juicy. I like lots of sauce. I think tomato sauce makes the pizza personally. If you ask me, it's always in the sauce, right? So, I think this looks great. Okay, so we swirled it all around. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to get the shredded mozzarella that we made, okay? So, I'm going to take whatever's out. You take the mozz in your hand and kind of just loosen it a little bit so that you can sprinkle it. Remove that pot so you can see better. And now you're going to grab a handful and you're just going to sprinkle, starting at the outer edge, and just sprinkle it with your hands until you cover the sauce. Now, depending on how cheesy you like it, I kind of have a way that I just like it. So, I like it covered, but not so much that it looks like a blanket of snow and I can't see the sauce underneath. Because remember, it's going to melt. And you want like pockets of sauce, and you want cheese, and you want it to melt nicely, but you don't want so much cheese that you just overkill it. I think I may just add a tad more, just a tad. Thought I had enough, but so you're just going to grate down like this, with just a little bit more. Grab a little bit more. We're almost done. And now what I think is just a terrific addition to my pizza is you sprinkle on a little oregano, dried oregano leaves. And this gives it such a great taste. I think it really brings out the sauce. So I'm just sprinkling it on. If you can get close enough, you can see that it's not loaded on. Everything, of course, with cooking has to just be, just right. So you can see it sitting nicely on the cheese. Okay, so you saw, I just went over it maybe 3 times with the sprinkling function just to give it a nice taste. And it is ready for the oven. So you're going to bake it on 450. And my oven, usually it takes about 15 minutes, like 12 to 15 minutes. Me, personally, I have an electric oven, and it's 13 minutes pretty much done. You want to watch it when you do it the first time to see how your oven cooks it. You want to see light golden color around the crust. You want to see the cheese all melted, but you don't want the cheese to be overcooked. If you start to see it get crusty or, you know, develop a brown kind of shell on top, it's overcooked. You don't want to overcook the cheese. The cheese should be all white and melted. The crust should be a nice golden brown. Remember, don't be hard on yourself. I mean, practice makes perfect, so the first time you do it, you know, if you don't get everything perfect, that's okay. You'll try it again. It's a quick and easy thing. So, in we go with it. And we're going to set our timer, like I said, because it cooks perfect for me, for 13 minutes, but anywhere from 12 to 15. Start checking at 12, see what it looks like, and then you'll leave it in longer if need be, or depending on how much you can lift it a little on the side, look underneath, and see if the crust looks like it's done enough. Sometimes underneath it doesn't just, you know, cook as quickly as it does on the outside. But like I said, you know anything. So we're going to let that cook, and I will be back when it's done to show you the finished product, and to talk to you a little bit about when it's finished. Okay, stay tuned. I just have a quick word for you about cleanup. If this is something you think you're really going to love to do, I would recommend that you get a dough scraper. And this is a metal thing like this with a wooden handle on it. And it's used to lift up dough that's stuck on the board, as well as collect all the flour. See how wonderful that works? And you can, again, buy these in any kind of kitchen store, but you know, if you're looking for a dough scraper, you will find it. So it makes it easy to just then clean it right up. See, you can throw that right in the garbage. I wanted to show that to you in the beginning, and I forgot. Okay, that's our timer. Oh my gosh, it looks perfect. So 13 minutes was what my oven called for. And if you notice, the cheese is starting to bubble. I want you to come and see exactly how it really should look when it's done. I wouldn't want to cook it anymore because I could risk, let's turn on the light and turn that off. I could risk burning the cheese because I can see it's just starting here to get that little kind of crunchy film on top, but that's okay because for the most part it's all done and it's all melted, and the sides are a nice golden brown. So what you need to do is you need to let it sit. Never cut a pizza when you take it right out of the oven, because it'll all kind of run to the center and you'll lose all of your topping. Have a nice pizza cutter handy, and then as soon as, you know, let it cool. Usually about 5 to 10 minutes is good, and you just cut it in a big cross, and then again, cut every piece again, right across, and then you'll be all set, and you can serve up your delicious, healthy, low-fat version homemade pizza using your own homemade sauce, your low-fat mozzarella, homemade dough if you choose, or like I said, you can buy it in the dairy case. Your kids will love it, your family, it's a special treat, and then you can put whatever you want on it. So if you want to have a little meat tonight, just take out some chicken that you have that you might have baked a few nights ago, slice it up, put that on. You can put broccoli on, you can put peppers on, tomatoes. I like to have a little salad, with my pizza, and sometimes I put a little salad on my pizza. I love the taste of that as well. As well as, I like chicken sausage. If you've ever tried chicken sausage, it's a great alternative to pork sausage, and it's very tasty and much lower in fat and calories. You might want to try that. So there you have it, and I really hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and that you will give making your homemade pizza a try. And please subscribe, because I have so much more to come, something of interest to everyone. And please visit me at my blog spot, where I do a lot of writing, and I hope you enjoy your homemade pizza, and I love your comments, so let me know how it came out. Okay, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye now.